Facebook page and official website. You don't tire for yeri boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the time for strip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally frank goes where
information, they say, is power. And then they don't be true all around the world. In a country like Sierra Leone, it is essentially important for their citizens know what thing they go on, whether it relates to politics, it relates to the economy, or any other kind of social topic. However, for boku years, it don't always seem like when it's time to get that information, citizens need for literally grovel for them before then they get them. And the question is, why is that the case? You get people them we believe say, then they na the politician then your way for keep citizens wanting. Keep them in the dark and you keep them humble. They would not do anything. They're not going to ask questions. Because it's only when citizens know waiting they go on. How much is being spent on what? That's the only time where they're able to make prudent decisions and ask critical questions which concern their lives and future. At a particular stage in Sierra Leone, we all able to agree that, yes, important for getting information and having access to critical information on governance, it's not a privilege, but not a right. Now, this particular vision now lead we to establishing a whole commission where we tagged as Right to Access Information Commission. This commission is supposed to serve as the hub where they help citizens them for get easy access to information were essential for them. Years after the establishment of this particular commission, have they lived up to the expectation? Are we now in a state where any citizens can just work into whatever government agency and write or ask for whatever information and it's provided? It's simply not the case, because you still get boku instances where citizens still need for literally wait in line, sometimes need to beg, sometimes need for pay, whether overtly or covertly, but it does happen for able to get information where we all do agree say na then right. But yet still, there seem for be invincible barriers then towards accessing information. Now, when it comes to helping citizens actualizing their dreams and vision or holding governments accountable, there is one institution which stands at the very center. That's the Parliament of Sierra Leone. Parliament is a critical institution because they hold everything, then they ensure say everything is at a balance. That's why you get separation of powers. And inside the separation of power theory, Parliament gets the unique role of serving as the check master, ensuring that people then will get executive power, then deliver waiting they're supposed for, and then not act beyond the powers that is ascribed to them. But then there comes the question. Now, the body we're responsible for ensure less citizens then get access and hold other bodies them accountable. This body here, are they accessible? Now that's the big question. Tonight, that's what we really want to look at. And as you already know, on Brutally Frank, the only yardstick, the only measurement where we use, now the truth. So viewers, welcome to No Man's Land. This now Brutally Frank. And like always, me now your host, James Fortune. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll get brutal with the facts.
economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism. By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible. This na Brutally Frank. This is Brutally Frank. Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
Yes, so whichever is convenient for you.
You don't tire for yeri boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the time for strip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na brutally frank.
This is Brutally Frank.
Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
You don't tire for yeri boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now na the time for strip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na brutally frank.
This is Brutally Frank.
Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
Hey viewers, from wherever you're watching from, this is your favorite music producer, and guess what? I'm on Slik TV. Whether you're in Freetown, keep it glued to channel 37. They're also on Facebook Live. Tune in and get some nice.
Let me live around you like my habitat. In a mohi garden, the juke and one lima proclama be moya kuja. Me recipe, me harmony, me honeybee. Make we go, LLE, me I need for the close to somebody.
Wow! Yummy!
Tasty one noodles na the most delicious noodles inside salon. We come with chicken flavor, beef flavor, and spicy flavor. If you want,
You don't tire for yeri boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now na the time for strip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't.
Okay, welcome back. If you just did join me, the program where you watch and listen to na Brutally Frank, where they come to you live here on Slik TV, channel 37, with me, James Fortune. And tonight on Brutally Frank, we want for be brutal with facts that we concern access to information. Now, information is power. That's not something we already don't repeat over and over again during the intro. However, in a country like Sierra Leone, sometimes it becomes difficult to get the most basic information from people them where you expect they supposed to provide them easily. One institution we stand at the very center of this, now the Parliament of Sierra Leone, because their fundamental role now for ensure that citizens' rights are ensured, they're guaranteed, they're protected, they get access to information and all. But then when it comes to a time where having access to these very members of Parliament is a problem, then one will begin to wonder, where do we start with the advocacy? How do we get things done when even the people we're supposed to help we and make things easy for we also the struggle for get certain kind of information? Now tonight on the show, for further this conversation, I'm being joined by Eleanor Thompson, when a lawyer and founder and managing lead for Citizens Barry. When a civil society organization where they work around civil rights, access to information, and anything we concern the welfare of the citizens, now the Republic of Sierra Leone. Now tonight we're going to talk about a press release where series of civil society organizations them were led by the citizens by a pool nado we get for do with accessing information. Basically contact of members of parliament them for one or two reasons. Now that's on the one part. On the other hand also, I'm being joined by Honorable Ibrahim Bundu, who is a former member of parliament and a former leader of government business in the House of Parliament. And a veteran politician, if I may add, and a development expert added also. There are many additions, but I think I would stick with those basic ones, and then we'll further the conversation. I'm sure with Honorable here tonight, we're able to understand what's the framework in Parliament. Are there any legal barriers where they prevent citizens them from get access or contacts, direct contacts of the members of Parliament? But first, I'll start with you, Eleanor. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Fortune.
Okay, it's nice. It's nice having you here tonight. Hope you're ready to get booted with the facts.
Always.
Okay, and Honorable Bundu, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Good. I'm happy that you're here tonight, both of you. I'll start with you, Eleanor. Citizens Barrier. What is it about? What do you know how they do?
Well, Citizens Barrier now a platform made up of citizens, whether now citizens the way they organize within their community or citizens the way they organize around social justice issues for push and go before solution then to their problem the way they monitor them, either in their community or nationally. So we just they serve as a platform for help support citizens for get information, credible information, for support citizens for come together, for organize themselves, and then also for take innovative, bold action like the one way we see so, where citizens then from every district of this country, each of the 16 districts then make right to access information requests them to Parliament for no other than the members of Parliament, and then we get the support of 9 civil society and media organization them for make them request and so not just the citizens them from each district, but also each of the civil society and media groups also make right to access information requests for the same information.
Okay, so on that particular point, one for say, waiting at the common story, because I'm sure you interacted with lots of citizens to get to that point. What's the common story among different citizens that we interact with when it comes to right to access information in itself, especially having access to their members of Parliament?
One thing where we hear over and over again, either through we direct engagement or we barrier discussion on whether or not communities or even where program then can they media program then can they citizens then not sabi who that's not the members of Parliament. It's really unfortunate because or if they sabi maybe now one no more than go sabi, and we know say under this current PR system, the district block system, not one member of Parliament each person gets.
There's a list containing 10 names and all. Yeah.
For your district, you get MP then where they represent you. But people are not sabi who that they represent in a Parliament, and then on top of that, they don't know how for contact the MP them, right? So now make we look first. We undertake some research. We look within the Parliaments and websites. We look at within the different parties they don't put out. We look within the gazettes. Within them we don't publish at the gazette, and we try for get all that information there, put them together. But so many gaps them in there. And for the most part, most of the MP there no get no contact information, whether na email, whether na telephone number, nothing. So only about 19% of the current MP them get any kind contact information na parliaments and websites.
Just 19%?
19,
Wow.
about 19%.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll bring
you telephone numbers.
Okay, I will come back to you, Elena, on that. But Honorable, good evening and welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's been a while. What have you been up to these days?
Well, I've been all about. Of course, upon my retirement, I get what I call life after public service. Because I always want for share back and my experience and expertise over the period for the nation benefits. Because I get all the benefits and they out of the service so I been get. And since we retirement, of course, retirement age in this country is 60. It's a very prime age compared to other parts of the country. And of course, also we, the members of parliament, you know, the retirement age, they are not vote you, like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I've been always prepared. So from 2018, I've been, I get an organization what I call the Public Service Life Foundation. And the foundation, now for make we engage with the nation on legislation, on things the way we must say we get experience as members of parliament during our sojourn. So after 15 years of what is, I ask myself, I say, so what next? In fact, that's been driving me for get. So I don't establish that outreach day since 2018. They do advocacy. They reach out. In fact, that is the reason why you know say I lost, because I've been the kaya. Those are all outreach then we'll be in the camp for them. We can show say we are still around and we are retired, but we are not tired. Clearly, the nation we have to, you know, and of course, then they don't lead me to lately. When in 2024 we get emergency for this kush and this drug, what is it? And now I say I'm a proud owner of a rehab center in Port Loco. I think I've been on this platform in go cover them when I've been open them in October. And we try for help the nation, we try for help youths, we try for help. So those are just basically some of the things will keep me. So I know I will sit down and keep quiet.
Okay.
I'm fully engaged.
That's good. That's good. You don't sit down na the front bench na parliament for many years. Now, in your experience, when citizens them not able to reach or access the members of parliament, who side more the failure lie? Does it lie with the individual citizens or the individual MPs or the parliamentary system in itself? Now, because these are three different angles, you've been there. From your experience, who do you think say bear the greatest responsibility?
Thank you for this very important question. But I want for preface them, like I say, I want for begin for actually applaud this new outfit where I don't hear this what in the
Citizens Barrier. I think they've been around for a while.
Yeah, Citizens Barrier. Well, they've been around for a while, and he himself gets busy, and I'm getting retirement now. But Citizens Barrier, by the small expose way one of the representatives, Senaya, now then outfit and they will look for. During my time, 15 years, the access to the kind platform where the citizens themselves go stand for their rights. It's been very, very limited to we. So let me join you, and let's say better late than never. So now that I don't worry, I will continue for access now. I could get more. I don't want to come it up now studio for can win debates. You know, I want to what say. So having said that, we talk about parliament and my experience and over the period. I want to start with within a parliament. Because you get parliament, you get parliamentarians. Parliamentarians come and go.
Yeah.
And the parliament stays. So in other words, we get a whole administration, what they call parliament, the parliamentary administration. Then they get the parliamentarians, who then they elect them every 5 years. When that 5 years are done, they lock the house, they elect you back, you come. So, waiting at the role of the parliamentarian. The parliamentarian simply will not get Boku role because we will pass law and I want of rule. We will do oversight to all ministries, departments, and agencies. Then, of course, also, we as parliamentarians will get the big role we call representation, because our people are saying we go there. So that representation, I think it border on the concerns where the citizen gets. Say, after we want them, will they come? Even at the doorsteps. We say no open, will they knock? We say no, they know will they sing, will they talk loud. And then after that, then they find problems or then they find difficulties for access. So access, I already mentioned the access to information. That one is administrative. It is administrative. Our representation role, I don't call it limited. It's a national representation role. But because of shared responsibility, he almost concentrates on the constituency. Because I don't want a nigga for return you back for a job well done. Because now they actually be making a candy. So that representation role is very, very key and very important to this discussion. Well, let we stick a finger on that. Let we not forget that. So the administration and the access to MPs in terms of getting information, honestly, now they're responsible. And I want to tell you, throughout my sojourn from 2002 to 2018, would always maintain what you call a parliamentary register. We get all with names, with telephone numbers. And the addresses, they will not be put for security reasons. It was a debate that therefore knows how they, but for security reasons, we did not put them. But parliaments and their phone numbers, everybody, and our emails are also attached. So I wonder, so tell me no day, things don't change. But throughout the time what I did, my number, my email, some people let me, number, and still they call me Pananche today. Yes, and still they call me Pananche today. The one they were not able to get me, some of them, meet up, say, I don't call it, not a pick. You know. So we are very, very positioned during my 15-year sojourn for let people and get access. Because when they get difficulties, people then they even tell you, say, this MP from what they elect are not here. To an extent, some of it is true. Some of it is not true. And if I also know, say, the culture of the MPs and their people, it changed over the period. I say so without hesitation because we all know, say, this country, the parliamentary and the parliamentarian, now being a parliamentary system of government. Wherein the member of parliament, though they sit down in parliament, they make a minister as an additional responsibility for them. They say they get a portfolio. But that arrangement they been not changed in 1991. In 1991, we amend the constitution for say a member of parliament is not going to be minister again. He's not going to get them two portfolio then they. So what we call this new system, we call them the presidential system of government, where the president and the elect them separately, the parliamentarians and they elect them separately. If, for instance, the president see you output and he want to make you minister, the day where they appoint you as minister, when you don't go through the parliamentary itself, if you resign, you cannot be a member of parliament and a minister at the same time. Now that's the new constitution say. But you see, you're not going to blame the populace. Now make go encourage this outfit. Make really engage some of we so that make give the roadmap. Because it is very, very important. Immediately after they don't pass this act in when the constitution in 1991, 1992, they overthrow the government. So for 4 years, this constitution, what they call the 1991 constitution, it be there in limbo. When military come, the first year then they suspend the constitution. Then they rule by decree. And we see the leader of the revolution or the leader of the armed forces that MD. What he wants nine they do. No constitution, no constitutional order. I mean then call him a coup. I mean then call him a military government. And soldierly, regimentally, then they say European than a last order. So we come back in 1995. 1996. When all was said and done, we come back 1996 under Tijan Kaba. In less than 1 year again, or in 1 year or so, a little over, they overthrow back. So not go 5 years. The time for Elena to explain all this what is of the 1991 Constitution. Now recently I see people then they read and they refer to 1991 Constitution, including lawyers. A lot of gaps, a lot of lacuna there in terms of understanding the. But people they not they think say no more. Certain people then they win at for Duam. It is the responsibility of every citizen for make it pass, for make it educate himself and educate other people about the Constitution.
Okay, Honorable. On that point, sorry. The question therefore now, do you think that with this PR system, because you just stated that you will be able to maintain a register in Parliament, we get you contact, you email and all, but with this PR system, because constituencies are not voting for the individual member of Parliament anymore, but just the political party, do you think that this sort of system in itself don't make even more difficult now they pose this kind of challenge now that you don't even know who they are, you don't know that they represent where to where? Is that the case?
Fortunately, the man was also now the PR Parliament in 2002. So I benefit both worlds. I benefit constituency. I benefit PR. So are they in a very firm footing for talk about the PR and its advantage and non-advantage. The PR system not gets any hindrance in terms of communication. Because first and foremost, when you do PR, now just like a cascade into to district system, because when we start this PR system under Section 38 of the Constitution, where it was an emergency arrangement, where the drafters of the Constitution may not anticipate them, so they put under Section 38. So we use Section 38 for make we bring what you call the PR or a national PR, where the whole country in one constituency, because of access to areas for electoral processes. So by the time we come 2002, the second Parliament, the thing go to a district block system, because by then almost all the districts all be accessible for make the whole election day, unlike in 1995, when they whole election 1995-96. So the district block system, now we meet. And they continue so currently, you know. The access to information in terms of, because the district block system, no, you know, hold, because I've done tell you say from then time then day, we maintain a register. As you go, you give your address, your name, and your picture. You have to give a picture where they put as members of Parliament and their telephone numbers, so that the access to them, you know. Well, like I say, I not go vouch for USA Anodi. USA Ade, I able vouch for that, because if I go now in my library, I will take a whole notice. I will get today. I get a list of all the former members of Parliament. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Elinor, una don't invoke the Right to Access Information Act of 2013. In your own view, is it that the Clerk of Parliament currently, in this circumstance, that only 19% is reflected in their website also, do you think that the Clerk of Parliament currently violates the law, or there is actually some legal loophole where allow Parliament for withhold contact details of elected MPs?
So, in the first instance, anytime a citizen or anybody make a right to access information request, no matter what, the public authority where they receive that information request gets for respond. Even if now for say we not get this information or whatever they want for say. But so the mere fact that the 15 working days don't elapse from where citizens and civil society and media groups make the right to access information request them, and Parliament not respond, they already in contravention of the Act. Yes, so just on that day alone, before we even get to, you know, providing not providing the information or even then proactive disclosure responsibilities under the Act. But the mere fact that a right to access information request don't be made, the public authority must respond. And failure to respond in itself already means that they don't run afoul of their obligation under the law. But I want to also jump on something where Honorable Ibrahim Bundu be mentioned. And I want to tell and thank you for the points where he make, but the fact that no matter what, no matter whose system, electoral system we get, the key thing in terms of citizen access and engagement and communication. Because okay, we don't see some of the challenge them where we get now in terms of people are not sabi the MP them. But none of them, no matter what, whichever system you put in place, now you whether not Parliament or you know Parliament as a body or institution or system, and individual MPs them therefore know how you they work within that system they for fulfill your obligations. So first of all, Parliament's obligations under the Constitution to the public are very clear. Their responsibility is very clear under Section 97, subsection B, that all members of Parliament shall regard themselves as representatives of the people of Sierra Leone and desist from any conduct which they seek improperly to enrich themselves or alienate themselves from the people. That last part is important, and it goes to this issue of communication and access and making then contact information available.
You know why I asked Elinor about the, sorry, maybe you continue from that one, but let me just, you know why I asked about the legal loophole? Because Parliament now one of the bodies, the institutions, the very few, we actually they regulate itself, and they have procedures and what that applies to them where they consider under the icon and standing orders in the Parliament. So the question therefore is, do you think, being that you also have a legal background, that they can be tied to the requirements, stricto sensu, in the Right to Access Information Act of 2013?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So first of all, Parliament's not there above the law. The Parliament itself pass this right to access information bill will become a law. But also, within the Constitution say, where I think say now you they refer to under Section 94, subsection 2, now in respect of Parliament is able to make rules for regulating itself. So in rules of procedure. Right? So in terms of immunity, let me say from legal action. So for instance, if this escalates and the Right to Access Information Commission issue an order against Parliament for the lack of response to the information requests them, and person go to court for enforce that order, the Parliament is not immune from legal action or insulated from that legal action, because that Section 94(2) only refers to only applies to Parliament's rules of procedure. Okay. Right? Not other laws. Parliament still get for abide by. Parliament, first of all, apart from the fact that Parliament's comprised of ordinary citizens, but also as an institution, Parliament still deal within the color of the law. And so that arguments, they really know all water.
Okay. Just a short clarification.
Please go on.
Before, talking about writing to Parliament, quoting the Right to Access Information Act. Who do you have a right to? Is it the Parliament or the parliamentarians?
Well, we write to the clerk of parliament.
Okay,
We write to the clerk of parliament.
That's parliament. Did you copy your parliamentarians?
Well, the people in where they ask for information on the names and contacts of the parliamentarians and not sabi. So now that information they ask for. So they're not gonna know who that's for copy.
But every parliamentarian get a mailbox where the same place beside the clerk in your own mailbox, then at the same place for every parliamentarian. This is just for the education of future correspondence, where you write to parliament. If not you will bother on parliamentarians, is that you also go copy them. So when you copy them, they don't give them access. Let's just go remind the clerk. A letter of this notice I don't receive. What is the action?
I think
maybe, like clarification.
Yes, maybe because it was generic, honorable, considering the fact that it's not just from one specific community or locality, then it becomes now the business of the administration of parliament in itself. Because assuming that if they don't get the information and they from the website, for example, they would have reached out to the individuals directly without having the cause for seek parliament, the parliament in itself. Maybe that's why they did that.
No go there for even make right to access information requests for the names and contacts of the parliamentarians if the citizens been sabi them, MP them. And keep in mind, not all man they free tongue, right? So the person where they put on or where they corner, we make a right to access information request. You know, the able can at the parliament building na free tongue for physically, make that request or watch, the pigeonhole them or mailbox them. And at the end, now one of the things and where we be the emphasize now that the request not so just for the names and contacts generically, but telephone contacts. Why? Because, like how you been explained, Honorable, you telephone number and your email address be made available for the person, maybe we get access to email, able reach you, but person we not get access to email or internet, able call you na phone. And we know say na saloon, internet access very limited. So in fact, we know say only about 84%, only about 30% of the population don't use the internet. That's now as of 2021. And 84% of the hosts na saloon as a country not get internet. And only 45% of the population internet literate, meaning they sabi how to use the internet. So you're not going to rely on emails, right? So even if email and the website or listed, first of all, for even access the website, right? For get that information there, no problem. Before I say for able send an email. So now that's make people ask not just for the names, who that's not the MP them, but also for the telephone number them, because now that they are the most widespread means of communication for the majority of citizens. I mean, at least mobile phone communication don't really penetrate deeply in the country.
Okay.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Honorable, but I think the Parliament itself we don't sign onto the open government partnership. Maybe that should be why you were still there, in fact. And legislative transparency portal, that's something that we don't sign onto. But during your tenure, whilst you were in Parliament, what are some of the practical obstacles then, whether it relates to budget, political will, and maybe just internal laxity for really ensure say Parliament that then commitments the way that we don't make becomes a reality?
If I take you back to the term where I enter, I will begin from my salary when I'm 500,000 loans. Oh, they go take na table. Then you sit in fee where they call the OTC for the month na 60,000 loans. But that notwithstanding, we not say we just come up and war and we just try for maintain the democracy. We worked in 2002. And lately on up to 2006, now actually salary come from that amount of 500,000 to 1,200,000. So by 2018, by 2007 to 2012, we begin look for averages. But the most important question we ask is about how, what are the obstacles, what are the things, and Parliament lacks so many things during my time. And since we know say budgetary constraints, then we are struggling as a country. So in the process, we've been getting a lot of things there for sacrifice. We wouldn't have been parliamentarians the length of the day. And so many things. An ideal parliamentarian for making doing work, first of all, you get to get an office, 9 constituency. So holding your parliamentarian or knowing your parliamentarian, that parliamentarian get to get on Southside go come. If now one person self, now one staff self, or two, then go put them there for letting them do what we call political surgery or parliamentary surgery. Let people and get access to that person there. Mind you, you go ask you people and let go represent in the parliament. Now that they go ask for. But when you reach there, the task they will do, they're multifold. You have to read for let you able to pass good law. You have to read for let you able to oversee highly sophisticated, highly positioned people, the permanent secretary, the ministries, departments, and agencies. These are not kids. These are big people. These are experienced people, more than even some parliamentarians. So when they go oversee in work, you get to be seized with waiting are the questions that we get to go ask them. So when you put all of that, the parliamentarian, you don't get a multitask. So the question of the representation, will not put on the backbone now. But let me also be brutally frank, like I say, because even the chair said, "Oh, I give it." Brutally, you know. Yes. We all know it's an open secret. When people in the come to parliamentarian, not about how they for put Watana this OTSF, how this for me. Now your personal, a lot of them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a whole brief for me when I was a parliamentarian or current parliamentarian. But that has been the vogue, not only in Sierra Leone, but in most cases, because we are also members of other supra parliaments. Like in my own case, I was member of the ACP EU Joint Parliamentary
But at that
Assembly.
point, Honorable, don't you think that one of the reasons why that they in fact sadly are the case that people only come because they need assistance, financial or otherwise, to their members of parliament instead of discussing development? Now, primarily because you get this barrier between the parliamentarians and the people that they represent, they're not able for them to hear from them directly those things that could help them, where will improve their economic status, which by extension would mean that when I come to my member of parliament, I'm not coming there anymore to ask for a cup of rice or a cup of beans, but really for focus on the other things. Because parliamentarians do not represent themselves, they represent the people. And yes, I understand the other points, the way you talk about reading bills and all, but in order for them contribute meaningfully to all of them things, it's not based on their own feeling and perception, but based on the feeling, perception, and aspiration of the people that they represent. And how can they interpret that if they don't get direct connection with them? Yes.
Okay.
Round up and then you come in, Eleanor.
Yeah. You know, I'm actually not here for win a debate, but rather than for exchange views and experience as to, you know, because this topic is very important and very dear to me. You know, the people and the parliament, the rule would have been for make we talk about things that would benefit the community rather than benefit individual. Well, believe me, today that rule is not the exception. I keep saying this una platform una don't create so una go can help this country greatly, because the it is not the rule anymore about citizens coming to ask for things then where they benefit a community. It is the exception. The rule is you go to your MP. First of all, the MP not get you not get an office. Who side and go actually put people them in place where can actually genuinely show concerns, then they put them in perspective, send them to the MP. So by the time the MP they prepare from Parliament or from tongue now, they go come out with some answers. That is the regular Parliament where they happen. Now Europe, now America, now Asia, now some other places. You see, but it is not happening here. However, we don't manage over the period. But honestly, I can share a short experience of the same questions here. But not for anything. I feel like can no more. I tell one, I say, well, I say, okay. I say, I go try, I go experiment one day. And indeed, I go there. I go to the bar. I spend the whole day. I pack my motorcar, we sit down and cook, we eat, and so on and so forth. You know. So I'm ready for go. I go inside my motorcar. I say, when I go. And I say, hey, see the one that I get for pay. Where you left now? If I tell them, say, I don't get money for give them. And to me, the MP can the whole little. So together they can go to chief. What you make them here, they fine for the public, and they fine for una. For that una know, you know, nobody no go say somebody don't do a good, get power, where go look at me, no one for, you know. They say truck you one box, but the hand shot. Imagine at a time where they earn 500,000 euros. You know, what can I do? I come all the way Binti Sanama Bolonto, Safroko, that side and day, na my constituency then at OTSF level. Even the petrol for put na my motoka for commot for just go na one constituency, it cost me over what did they pay me? You know, then I have 4 chiefdoms. Yes, you see, how much can I do? But then discussion are healthy and very necessary because that's so they take for build the democracy. And I'm happy for these people who don't take these honors. For let we not debate. Let we join on for educate the people. Indeed. Let the people then know exactly, because when somebody don't understand, they speculate, they anticipate. So managing those expectations, you need brains like una.
Okay. Not exactly I want for coming. Waiting honorable talk. Now, I mean, we don't get that complaint say from MP them say people and they, you know, if people and get in contact, then they call them for all kind, you know, thing. We don't get nothing for do with their role as MP, and it boils down to the fact that people are not sabi the role of MP. This is a civic education issue, you know. And even Mr. get that experience in our community. So ahead of the 2023 elections, we get a working committee in our community where we decide for all a forum. We invite the councillor candidates there and the MP candidates from the different parties there for can talk to we. Tell we waiting exactly, you know, now you position on certain issue then what you they can't do. And the question where I asked the 2 MP candidates from the different parties then, this same thing, but how most people they confuse the role of MP and councillor. They ask the MP for go make, you know, what's well na the community or do things and way not so the MP the main role now for represents in a parliament, make laws, and then also provide oversights on the executive and you know branches of, be a check on other branches of government, right? And yari waiting we the people and where they represent want for the inside the laws and other things where they pass. Okay. The MP the MP one of the MP them is not even able because. Now the first thing, and anybody don't actually even own such a forum, right? One the candidates then not be even able explain what's in rule. na parliament, right? So of course, the people in the Mio community not really been get that understanding the, and so we see this as part of we own role as well for ensure say people can get information on how governments they work, but at the same time, the MP themselves then get a role for educate citizens or parliament as a whole. Part of public education as parliament, as parliament as an institution. Now for help people and for understand what they do. And that engagement, once people get access, then they're able to know more and more, because then they interact more and more with parliament, then they see, exactly what in parliaments they do, and then they help for alleviate confusion. But I want to just quickly touch on the open parliament, the open government partnership thing, because this is actually very important. Me actually don't participate in open government partnership activities for some time, and the process for some time, and particularly on access to justice. But Salone really don't get a lot of accolades internationally, globally, for what we don't commit to in terms of open parliament. And why it's important for let we discuss them, and what we don't commit to, and maybe also with a false shot, and how, for instance, even not having the names and contacts of MPs, they undermine that stated commitments where we don't make as Salone to open government and open partnership. The commitment self where we make, it outline what you they ask us in terms of what are the cause of this, a problem where people are not able to access their MPs. Some of the things where the commitment self, so now the government and civil society together we draft the commitments, but inside parliament self now then lead. Talk about outdated systems for disseminating legislative information, and also talk about bureaucratic barriers.
Okay, maybe while you are still on this note, maybe let me just throw in this question, and maybe you can just, because I think that's essentially as well what you answer. Assuming that, let's say Parliament tomorrow, they release all the MPs and contact and details, would that alone already now solve the problem, the availability or accessibility problem we get? Or is it something deeper than just, waiting and just putting?
So it's deeper, and so now I've been sort of go through waiting at the some of the root causes, because they self-identify, say, bureaucracy, they create barriers, and this is not currently, maybe not so the same way honorable been in a parliament, but we they see, say, then they even talk about lack of understanding or appreciation of the importance of citizen input in decision making. And then see this now brutally frank. That would be brutally frank and talk say we politics na Salone don't lead we to a place where even we representatives they know that political will, but also that not to just motivation, but that what they call inside themselves for say, then they go to parliament for represent people there, not for themselves, right? Not for their own benefits. Really, we don't see a move away from citizen-centered representation to me from what me they get for myself. And because of that, now then they create all the problem now. So even if you put the information na the website, that is still not citizen-centered, because they consider the fact that most people are not able to access that website for able to get that information there.
So it goes beyond just providing contact.
It goes beyond. So you can propose like how they don't do now the open parliament commitments for the open government partnership, ICT structures and then kind of thing. But technology, we not just throw technology as a problem. It get for actually solve, innovation really get for actually solve the problem. If most of the population not literate, and most of the population not get access to internet, how is an ICT infrastructure, going to help, right? we need to develop solutions and we actually attuned to we own people. And so, for instance, I will give you a few. You know, almost there for make all MP them not just get official parliament.gov.sl email address, but also official telephone line, right? Almost a SIM card, 10 million times 158 MPs if you include the PCMP them. So that's what 1,580 leons.
Okay.
You want to tell me say we're not able to spend that money there? That's small. Waiting at chicken change to not just an individual MP but the institution for ensure say every MP gets a own official telephone line, a SIM, right? Okay, if you know get other phone for put that SIM there, or you know get phone where they use a dual SIM, almost na button phone. Almost you they spend for buy button phone. 150 leons, I like idea, say idea, 250 leons, right? So this now the amounts of money where we they take for actually solve them problem there, so it really not much. In fact, it's not the same amounts where, for instance, they now the Parliamentary Act for home furniture for the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. So which one important? Which one a priority, or for be a priority for the for democracy?
Okay.
You know, in terms of spending that money.
Okay. The current chief whip, honorable, the current chief whip now, Parliament, recently talked say Parliament actually lacks the basic tools them way necessary for ensure effective communication. Now, this of course including press officers and photographers, and the list goes on. From your experience, do you think that Dandy is an excuse, or it's just a honest truth about the legislature in itself?
It's an old age problem. We meet them, and I must also hasten for say, we meet them, we not just left them in the dump. When we be no see, first of all, people do not get the understanding of the role of Parliament and parliamentarians, as dictated in the 1991 Constitution. We not be able to get implementation because of the coup and other reasons. We go all out and advocate for funding. We'll be able to get from the IPU, International Parliamentary Union. All the 16 districts, by then it was 12. We started with the 12 districts. We go around all. By 2012, we get another one from the Commonwealth Association of OTSF. They fund we. All the 16 districts. You see, but when something don't become habitual, they say, the rule be supposed to be temporary. For people them, then a quick fix for them. Not to they know where would they go? Where you go call meeting? EMP na one person. Now say go na a chiefdom. If each other chiefdom the community we vote because mind you, when I say you na MP, you are no longer the MP for the party we vote you we tell you go parliament to. Even the one they way know it because now made them call a representation of the constituency and the area outside you come out. If they all put one corporate or one leon, they say they would say they give you that as the Ibudona. But when they expect the MP, if they come 300-400 people then go come, they want everybody eat. When you don't, everybody forget transport. These are the facts. So when you look at them, well, it is also not politically expedient for MP because you don't have to say, people always get their own escape and, For the question of this MP, I'm going to continue to encourage you, to encourage them outfit here, because definitely it is now coming from the people. It is not a realization. If you don't, if not help pull the MP from that trap and MP from that trap. Because when somebody wants power game, You go for do everything political for let you go there. When you reach there now, you go see the reality. People and they will left lucrative positions from overseas because of the prestige we attached to an MP, both to his family and this and that. A guy can't go inside. When he can't see the reality, honestly, I get 2 or 3 of our colleagues from the other political parties. That shock we then can't get. Somewhere we make and then die.
But then
it's a fact.
Yeah, but when that happens, then it calls into question, you see, why did you even come in the first place?
No, you see, a lot of things can drive you into, you see, power. It comes with prestige. It comes with desire from your family. Who don't look for the all. Now you don't go university. Now you actually deal with people. Come. They can represent we. People call you to come and represent them. But when you come, the reality sets in. They don't come in to come and rescue you. They say, now you want. Where you yourself, will they pull you there? So it's a whole, I am not saying this because I want to exonerate MPs and so on and so forth, because there are set rules, there are set responsibilities, it is the constitution, it is the standing, it all sides, or make you do something. And some of us, what do we do during our tenure? Only we go Kenema and somebody they say they do nothing. I say, but you want to chair the people of Binchi, people of Safroko I represent? And they go put me 3 times inside parliament for doing street nothing. Don't say that in public. You all do things the way since I go serve the public, I've done it. If they talk and fine, they're not talking about it. During the time the way it was not easy, and it will never be easy for MPs given the circumstances who find themselves, both the economic challenges and other challenges that we did. Honestly, imagine an MP they represent Kailau for the left now, they go, then to then accept them. Then beyond accept them.
Yeah, but honorable, you know, say that they can.
Those allowances, when the time we can say, we call them constituency facilitation, please. We vote in a small amount of money. Way by that time, then be almost million. When you times, you divide that by 12. When it's for 1 year. What they give you that money? When people hear about that money, then they give them for constituency development. What are they going to develop? When you divide that money, now like 1,200,000 for months.
Okay.
For Komona, go Kailau, Komoya, go Sandama Bolonto, Komoya, go Beria Timbako, Narifalaba Axis. You know, but that is not the issue here. The issue is about all of us understanding that we all get with constraints. But when in Sierra Leone, everybody they look for ambassador, everybody they look for somebody wait for go blame. No Sierra Leone are not the same as me. You know, you take responsibility. Man. So these are some of the things we they admire when people then they take responsibility now. Because unless and until we self as a people, not in the way but then they pass in a parliament way, they pass through the people. Like for example, the laws. Today the government motion or a government bill come out, the first port of call, not to parliament too, not to the people. Through the Gazette. People are going to tell you, how much people they read Gazette, but when they put your name for let go be councillor, for let you go vote for chieftaincy, they go look for that. When they put your name for let you there as a voter, as a registered voter, they hang that list that the Gazette, they go look for that. So that people then take responsibility. Let citizens take their rights. Believe me, in the human race, if you get a right enough for them, I feel sorry for you. Because the one way he will pass, not all. Someone they get the own way God make them. They get very simple way for access something. So unless and until we all accept, say, some of them things here, now they look for solution collectively. Now make me not afraid for Kana radio or television or whatever. Because I want for actually, like we say, brutally frank to the people. I represented people for 15 years. I know what it cost me. I know what it cost me family.
Okay, Honorable. You've made all these very, very good points then. But then it comes back to the very beginning. Citizens them, now they hold for clamor for their rights, push for waiting their need and all of which. However, the body way for support citizens them for attain dandy, nine at the parliament. Parliament nine stay at the middle for either strengthen or destroy democracy anywhere in the world. Now when in 2026 we're still seated here talking about access information, talking about phone number and email address for member of parliament, is that not scary? Is that not an indication that we might not be heading, in the right direction?
I would call it very scary. So I will entreat you to contact the Public Relations Office of Parliament, because what you talk to, I still need to be convinced. The Parliament we are left, and we actually interact with them occasionally. I still need for So do me a favor.
Okay.
Contact the Public Relations Office and let them give you an in-depth notice into that one day. But honestly, waiting they talk so is very scary if that is what obtains now. Parliamentarians, now law they would pass. We know they enforce law. Now we pass the right to access information with the people then. President sign up, then as law. The law enforcing agency, we don't put a body where we call a commission, where that they do the administrative job for make that piece of legislation they let work. So what you call the enforcement, what you call the implementation, is not in the hands of Parliament alone. That no absurd we say, if you not report say, then people they not do their work, the administration. Now we could get the oversight function. But we have to be given the right information. Like when I don't do and so, and I don't get a result. There is a communication what is a committee. They will even get what you call the public petition committee. All them committees are headed by the speaker. The communication committee can be contacted, and that committee they then get responsibility under the oversight, which is for call the right to information access secretariat. Where they can explain why we are not getting now this property now.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable.
So just for maybe I don't know if you go appease honorable a bit, but for let say before citizens then take this move for make their right to access information requesting us, so we actually engage Parliament and we engage the Public Relations Office, and so because they can't in so you really want them for be a last resort. I mean, a public institution and a branch of government like Parliament, you always want citizens for able get a constructive relationship. It's not a thing where it's supposed to even reach this level, right?
That is the ideal situation.
Well, no, but the norm for be where we engage, we able get and at the very least we able work together for find a solution. If you say okay, we get this challenge, right? Why we not go sit down and we see how you still meet your obligation for ensure citizens and get this information and get access, whilst we see how we mitigate the challenge.
Okay.
That they go be operating in good faith. That they forbid the norm. That they forbid the rule. If they talk about rule and exception, that they forbid the rule. Not so the fact that citizens get to go this far.
In an ideal situation.
No, in a normal situation.
Keep trying. Okay. I think we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll really, definitely, certainly continue with the ideal and less ideal situations then. And maybe we'll find a middle ground from which we'll get a head start. This is Nabutali Frank. We'll be right back.
talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the term for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism,
by serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na brutally frank.
This is Brutally Frank,
Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the term for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is.
Brutally frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism,
by serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na brutally frank.
This is Brutally Frank,
showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the term for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is.
Brutally frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism,
by serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible.
This na brutally frank.
This is Brutally Frank,
showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slik TV, channel 37. Hey, welcome back. If you just joined me, the program where you watch now Brutally Frank, where they come to you live here on Slik TV, channel 37. And tonight we're talking about, it's really a question more or less. Why can citizens reach their members of parliament? Waiting at the barriers them way daily, if any, and how we were able to forge a clearer pathway towards ensuring that there is no gap between the citizens them and the members of parliament. Now, when I don't pull out these press statements and of course the interaction we want to get with the parliament in itself, the question therefore is, with all of this, after all of this, what happens then? So, what happens next?
So, I mean, the law day, and the law day for let you use them. Last week, the African Network of Information Commissioners been there free tongue because they get a Congress or whatever later on this year. And the chairperson of that African Network of Information Commissioners, and Commissioner Panzi Tlakula, it comes South Africa. It talks something way relevant to this. It say the law no go ever change people in life unless people use the law for all governments accountable. And the information where government and public institutions and get not so they own. the all that information they for the public good. And that they underscore why utilizing the Right to Access Information Act, like how citizens and civil society and media groups and don't do, is so important. Because we dey test the law. The law not just did it for the parliament, not be passed this law for let it just sit on there, nobody not use them. Now sending like this, where citizens don't face a challenge or barrier for able get the MP then contacts, and for let we use them. And we, as you see, we don't escalate them now. After the 15 working days pass, don't escalate them and ask the Right to Access Information Commission for review, parliaments in failure for respond. And depending on what's in the Right to Access Information Commission come with, then we go know what's in the next
Wetin
step.
I dey do next,
But
okay.
that is not mean say Parliament still not able comply with the request. Even in the meantime, like just because we don't escalate them, when I still get opportunity, Parliament of Sierra Leone for comply with una obligation under the Act. And it don't be before. We don't make right to access information requests them. The 15 working days pass. We ask the Commission for review. Then the Public Authority comply with the response before Right to Access Information Commission they're able, issue an order. And we, because again, not for plaba, right? So we the right to access information commission and withdraw, we request for review if we don't satisfy, say the public authority don't actually comply with
Okay,
it.
on another note, some people they argue over the years that accessible MPs go rather simply just deepen political divisions because the constituents will rather use the contact of the MPs for either harass or threaten them. How would you respond to people where they say these sorts of things? And waiting are some of the safeguards where you think safe or exist, on both sides?
Yes, now it's something we don't come up, including MP, the right to privacy and this and that. Well, now that's make, earlier I've been talking, say, MP then forget an official line, right? So not so them personal or private a telephone number or email address they use, right? Secondly, if you get, if not the official line, first of all, if any harassing message or anything come in, you're able to test that telephone number. With all SIM card then registered, right? So you're able to take the necessary measures, right, for ensure, say, anybody will use or abuse MP the openness, right? You're able bring them to book. But then they no mean say that they use the negative eventuality for creates the rule. You create the rule.
Whether they answer the official line.
Well, now you get your phone. So the official line, you supposed to answer them between a certain time from, let me say, from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. That line there, you supposed for able, respond to messages, or you get your designated hours. Just like how you been talk honorable. Today, each MP been get in office in the constituency.
No, ever get to.
Well, some MP, me no say me, the former MP, been gets a office now with constituency.
Create your office.
But, and all office hours. Okay. So you can do the same thing for the telephone line. You get a time where you designate for respond to messages and where come in. If call come in, you're not able to pick them, because maybe you just sit in a parliament. Or you get time where you they return, then call them day, right? Then thing also not so insurmountable challenge them.
Okay.
Really, not just if commitment and the will day for let it happen, it will happen.
Okay, Honorable. Now, Eleanor, they say where there is a will, there is a way. I think I want to ask you really the same question about these arguments that accessible MPs go rather deepen the political divisions because the constituents go rather get the contact of them MPs for either harass or threaten them. How would you respond to that particular notion there? And from your experience, what do you think now the safeguards way for exist on both sides?
One of the biggest safeguard we people in the say when you talk about harassment, which is a possibility, it's a very serious matter for an elected member of parliament. When you talk about other things, we will bring discomfort. Now, a very serious matter, so they handle them officially. The biggest safeguard is to officially handle it, because it get a far-reaching notice if law know what it happen. If creating just an, let me ask the question just now, or it's an undertone anyway, don't mind me. That's a parliamentary. I ask the question, who manned that? I don't talk about an MP getting an official assistant. We go handle that aspect. We're not to insert the PM, a government the PM. Just like where a minister gets a permanent secretary, he gets a deputy secretary, and get all the officers then. Some of them are even duplicated. You go to some ministries, departments, and agencies, then get people that they sit on the whole day, they don't get nothing for do. Then people that they them for don't, and then they pay them. Then for don't train them, bring them, all them people that they can't serve in their offices because they are already in the system.
Okay.
So many of them, all those advocacies who don't make up. You have one minister or two ministers, a minister and a deputy, they get all line of people them sitting there idle, collecting monies. If they combat them people, then they then train them for send them on secondment as government officials to parliaments. They could not resolve this problem.
Okay.
But you see, the executive and the legislature, that's what we call the principle of separation of powers. But this separation, I foul, you know, because now they get for both the money, and now we get for which system gets say and very big say. But the question is, when you have the member of when you have the president, when at the head of the executive is also a member of parliament, then you begin to, you begin to look at the laws. I make laws, and then you write up on stone, so that it can be amended.
Okay.
So we are all of them safeguard here. If honestly they cut off the idle staff, we don't already in the system. They go recruit another new staff again. What is help them, train them, and deploy them and then outreach them. Like that problem they don't resolve. Go and be a legislative assistant to so honorable. You already did in the system, you get a PIN code. You understand? When you are a nurse then or you're a teacher, they don't give you PIN code. You don't go see in one green place somewhere go sit down. Even though work no did.
Okay, honorable. Yeah. Interestingly, we now have an official response from the communications director, when Mr. Shekul Amin Ture, on this particular conversation we're having. Una will just permit me for read them out verbatim, and then I will take on comments on them. Now, given part 3, particularly section 21 of the Right to Access Information Act 2013, Parliament is constrained to provide the requested information because it fell on the exempt information relating to personal matters. We could not give out the personal contacts of members of Parliament to a third party against the law. Moreover, in situations where the third party could not take responsibility for the abuse of those contacts or guarantee any form of control by any person or group of persons regarding the usage of personal contacts of MPs, okay, even the proviso is difficult to achieve. Under section 21, subsection 2, paragraph A of the said act, that's the Right to Access Information Act of 2013, in light of getting prior consent before disclosure of personal information. However, we encourage the public to engage MPs through letters, position papers, and public petitions. Further, the Parliament of Sierra Leone is a responsive organ of the government that is committed to the doctrine of an open parliament by the employment of transparency and accountability in its dealings to leverage on public trust. The more reason the Parliament of Sierra Leone has long ago incorporated journalists and civil society organizations to monitor its daily operations. This is a reflection of a recent survey done in Ghana by Parliamentary Network Africa. And on parliamentary openness, the Parliament of Sierra Leone came second in West Africa, whereas South Africa emerged first in respect of same. Now that's now according to Sheku Lamin Toure, who is the Director of Communication at the House of Parliament. He just shared that with my producer in the end. So there you have it, anyway.
Yes, so I mean, we've been all, I mean, this is not a new argument or position. So first of all, let me take them step by step. One, as I don't say, Parliament not even respond to the information request them. So even if na this na you position or you respond, you therefore respond to the information request them. So no matter what, then they're in violation of the act, right? Secondly, in terms of exemptions, in terms of Section 21 of the Right to Access Information Act, where they talk about, you know, unreasonable disclosure of personal information, right? Mr. Toure referred to only one sort of section, but there are a whole list of exceptions, right, where disclosure of personal information no go be unreasonable under the Act. And then they includes, you know, if the information already available to the public, if the individual already don't give a prior consent, etc. So even the efforts for, keep in mind that under the 4th and 5th parliaments, this information, and even Honorable Bundu Naya don't confirm, say, today, all this information, telephone numbers and email addresses, don't be made available to the public.
No. To the parliament. Remember,
on a register, But that information, okay, but under the 4th and 5th parliament, this information be laid at parliament's website. Yes. So, but under this, the 6th parliament, that information now some MP then information some get email address, some not get. So first of all, then we don't already set a precedent, right? So you don't go say this information today now exempt, wait today not be exempt. That's not one. Secondly, we talk about public officials, right? So as much as a citizen or as an individual, I get my right to privacy, an MP gets a right to privacy. As a public official, points their way, certain, where that right to privacy also, you know, gets in limits, right? So as I've been saying before, nothing wrong. In fact, even now, if you go to the website, one MP, Honorable Ali Bayo of Kenema, he get official parliament.gov.sl email address now, the parliamentary website, as well as a telephone number, right? So is this not so something where all of this information are personal information, and you go get for Parliament and Mr. Toure go get for explain or justify for every single MP, every single one of the 158 MP them, that each one, for each one, na personal information or information we exempt, make a put on that way. And they don't do dandy. And it clear say some MP there not just don't consent and put their information out there, but also not even clear say they even consult the MP there or ask, you know, or try to find a solution for mitigate. But the point is, the request and way citizens they make from each district, they ask for the contacts of all of the MP then for the district. And we, civil society and media groups, ask for all of the MPs and contacts for each district. So unless you tell we say every single one of the MP them, the information fall under the exemption, and even that has to be tested, not just automatic, and still you get for respond, then the response, unfortunately, it falls short.
Okay, thank you. Honorable, there you have it. Yeah. I mean, since we started, I think we've been focused on ways and means how we go able to find a middle ground. But based on what we just read, it's a flat out no.
Personal information.
Yes, on the side of the Director of Communication. Yeah. What's your take?
Personal information by any interpretation, it demands good management. That is the reason why the possible way they give you personal information to, like go Parliament, the Parliament of Sierra Leone, the administrative wing will ask me for all the personal information in it. And of course, now they get for managing well, so that we are not exposed to the danger they will just don't highlight. Okay. And that just don't emphasize by the provision of the exempt people away. One of them, these are honorable people. When you are elected as a member of Parliament, you get the people away vote for you. Even the people who won't affect for the symbol. They all are people away go one for TCFU. So your information, if it is not properly managed, it poses a lot of danger. Apart from harassment, we all don't agree into. So the question of exams, that will not joke with them. It's very, very important in as much as. But that is not to say the MPs and we read the concerns of the people, and they would definitely have to find a way for make them get that understanding with them people, notwithstanding the law. Because if I'm an MP, I have a way to deal with my people. Because I may then get contract. After 5 years, not to Parliament, they go say, now this we want to. Okay. Then I would have come from the people where they not elect officially, and then they take the manage. So therefore, the information I also find, the observations I also find when they talk to the public, so that the public self no say, not to say Parliament no one give the information, no, but by the same law, the same token of the law of the right to access information, they also get exempt clause today.
As we round off, I'll come to you briefly. As we round off, Honorable, do you really think? I mean, and that's your singular opinion I'm asking for, really, that a phone number and an email address can realistically fall under this exempt clause that the Director of Communication is relying on?
Definitely. Now, one of the most important notices of a phone number. In fact, they make them very, very tricky when even they go get a SIM card. Because then they take a lot of things from you. When you take a phone number, you give to person. Now, God will help you no more now. We all know the Yankee Panky of 47. If they ask you now, how this woman get your number? We say, no, Sabian.
It could have been any means.
Good. So you see how technical a phone number is. So don't just say a phone number. A phone number is not an ordinary information. Yeah. It carries a lot of things.
What would pose more threats? Me as a citizen being able to just log on to the website, get me MP in details and all, or rather I need for go through back doors, go through so, just for getting simple contact.
No, let's correct
Wouldn't the latter pose more threats than the former?
Let's correct it this way. We don't answer that question, they say. Given the things then, with the threats and other things then, we surround the danger of an MP and responsibility to protect an MP as a parliament, his details cannot be just dished out to the public, say, a commoner in constituency, I want his telephone number, it has to be thoroughly verified. Okay. By all means. Okay. I don't think, say, we get any OTSF. No MP, no one, let stay away with him, people them. But letting him voluntarily. But the Parliament of Sierra Leone will not give it the way people were for letting him.
Okay.
As we not even advisable.
Yes, as we round off, Eleanor, I mean, there you have it. It's a flat out no. And I mean...
Well, Dandy, not to official response.
Okay, yeah, well... no, what I mean, you know, what I'm stating is that, you know, we've been discussing since we started. We don't only talk about the buts and maybe or if, you get. But from the director of communication, that's the way they want to go.
Yeah.
So...
And as we don't say, the exemption gets exceptions, clearly laid out exceptions.
Okay.
And two, I think we're very relevant to this, now that there's the disclosure of personal information is not unreasonable. First of all, the issue of whether this is personal information, now one question, Seth. But for sake of argument, if Nadande the one for rely on, the disclosure of personal information not unreasonable under the Act if the disclosure necessary to subject public authorities and private bodies to public scrutiny. That is precisely what we're talking about in terms of transparency and accountability. To our own representatives. Now we own us. Parliament, now we own us. Right? Now we put people in there. Although, so where have they come? Somebody, they message me, they say, did we actually, in fact, elect these people? Or, as far as they're concerned, we don't actually elect the people in Yaso. They were chosen by political parties, but that is another conversation for another day. But the point is, as we all roll, as Honorable Bini say, if they, you know, give kudos to citizens and we for where we turn up, they push for we rights, right? So how we for do that day? How you for subject public authorities and public bodies, public officials, including you member of parliament, to public scrutiny if you're not able to contact them or ask or access them. Then also, if not a class of information where they don't inform the person where na in own personal information, say that information they will be or might be made available to the public, then they say fall under the exceptions, where a reasonable disclosure. So the Act already provide for this same parliament will pass this law. I think say they not forget say they put the exception they have to inside, and so it's not unreasonable, not to favor we MP then they do we for let we access them. Not to favor parliament to do we for provide this information. That's so they're supposed for do dandy, right? And now we write for get this information. Now we write for participate pan government, right? And the way we go able participate in terms of legislative processes, now where we the able access we MP them, and we need for get in contacts. If na telephone numbers, if they actually the Canada constituency, all them different ways and they for access them important. So not to even one way, but let them make sure say we able access them.
We get one very important word common to everybody. If somebody they make difficult for they get something from a lobby you know, and not say they bribe them, they say they lobby them. You know, try for let the person understand, say this is what I want. Because the end result, now what you want get them. Yes, the laws are there, the obligations are there, but if there are bureaucracies, go into lobby. Even the president, he lobby. If the president wants legislation for personal parliament, he lobby the other side. It is understood, it is global, it is parliamentary. And it is also natural in things. It takes away you want from anybody. If the bureaucracy has its own way of stopping it and you need it, you find ways and means, because now the end product now you want.
Okay, Elena, would you be lobbying?
I go need clarification and exactly what's in honorable mean by lobbying, because I mean as I been on say, we constructively engage parliament, including the director, yes, before then same discussion and so where would they get?
They not lobby you
we get sorry sir.
They not lobby you.
Again, I will need clarification on what exactly you mean by lobbying. But, but I mean, I mean, the law na the law. I mean, we very clear say this na be a last resort after attempting to constructively engage. That constructive engagement, you know, no rights, and so this the law provide for this step.
Okay.
We also not to even a contentious step for ask for information, not to something where you foresee as, you know, a challenge or something bad.
Okay.
Right? So in that same spirit of positive engagement, now make them requesting also. Unfortunately, because of the lack of response, we get for escalates. But again, the door still open for Parliament provide the information.
Okay, thank you very much. We don't lay out the law. We don't lay out the politics. And to a certain extent, we don't as well deal with the lived reality of somebody who has been there, who is not there anymore. The question now is whether or not Parliament will respond to the 28th legal request, or they will continue for keep citizens them at arm's length, so to speak. Whether the former or the latter ever happen, I think it's just a matter of time. It's a wait and see thing. So plenty thank you to my guests them in the studios, Honorable Ibrahim Bundu, when I former member of Parliament and leader of government business in the House of Parliament, former, and Eleanor Thompson, when the founder and managing lead for Citizens Barry. Until next Sunday at exactly 7 p.m., where another edition of Brutally Frank will come to you. I've been your host, James Fortune. Stay blessed.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the term for strip the headlines there and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance